Hi, I'm Jenna, also known as RetroLemon, and this is maybe episode 130? 131? Something like that. Anyways, a big hello to new viewers, and a big hello and welcome to all returning viewers. We have some business to take care of in the way of a knit-along giveaway. So I am so excited to see so many beautiful leaves of chain shawls that were finished. So many beautiful colors, and it's always fun to see, you know, the yarns people pick, and it's just such a joy for me as a designer to see my pattern come to life in so many hands. And we have 2 giveaway prizes for that. So we're going to do that first and get that out of the way. Pull up Ravelry. I went to use my iPod and we changed some settings on the computer, and it wouldn't find the Wi-Fi signal. I'm like, I don't have time to mess with it. Oh, this is episode 130, by the way. So we have a wonderful skein of Volumizza, the twin base. So it is an 80/20 merino nylon in the Moses colorway, donated by the very generous Sarah. And we had 11 entries, so 2 through 12, because I was the first post. Let's go to the random number generator. 2 through 12. Done. Okay. Generate. It's not doing it. It's on 15 from the last time, so I'm trying to get it. Okay, ready to do it again. Okay, number 3. It's like, I knew it could be number 15 because there was no number 15. So number 3, let's go see who you are. Number 3 is Lori, who is Lori P. And let's see, she did hers out of a beautiful lime green. So Lori, please PM me with your information, full address, name, all that good stuff. You know the drill. And I will send you this beautiful skein of Volumizza. You lucky girl. And then next up, someone else will be very lucky with Leading Men Fiber Arts in the Lucky Charm base, because this is just scrumptious. And random number generator, go back, hit generate again. Number 9. Let's go see who number 9 is. Number 9 is Angela, Beagle Mom Knitter, and she did hers in a beautiful deep green. So Angela, you got some more green coming your way. Once again, give me full name and address, and I will get those sent out to you ladies. And thanks everybody for participating. Thank you again, Sarah and Steve and Andy, for donating the wonderful prizes for making this knit along super awesome. And of course, thanks to everybody who participates, because that's who makes this knit along super awesome too. Because without people knitting along, there would be no knit along. So we are now into August. Can you believe that? I swear the summer has just gone flying by. We're getting ready for back to school and all that, so crazy to think that it's August. So we are doing a toy knit along, so you can knit any toy by yours truly here. Any one of my patterns, just knit a toy. You can knit as many as you want. The more you knit, the more chances you have to win. One winner. You can only win one prize. Well, we have one prize. So you can only win one prize. We'll do random number generator again. The wonderful prize. I decided to go ahead and give away this wonderful skein of Vesper sock yarn in the delightful colorway. It is a self-striping of a really deep reddish, kind of reddish pink, light pink, green, like a minty green, and gray. It is stunning. I would love to keep it, but I'm trying to de-stash some of my own stuff and just not have so much stash in general. So I don't need to keep it because I have lots of lovelies and I figure it can go to a very, very good home. So, you have the whole month. So, end of August, I will shut down the thread, and then September and October will be our striped sweater knit along. So, more details about that later and what the prizes will be for that, but they will be fabulous. Let's see, finished objects, because I think that's all the official business stuff I have to take. I have one, and okay, it is a finished object even though it's missing its mouth. I knit a Theodore the Storytelling Monster. He just needs his mouth because I just finished him last night and there was no time for a mouth, but I'm calling him done otherwise. So I knit him. He's a birthday gift for my boys. My boy's birthday is this weekend and they're right in the other room. So this is for one boy. All done. Theodore is knit out of Dancing Dog Dye Works in the Zombie Party in Rochester colorway, which was the colorway for this year's Zombie Apocalypse retreat. I'm like, the name, I could see the letters, but I wanted to say the whole name, Zombie Apocalypse. So that was the exclusive colorway for that, and I think it came out super cute. I love its little dangly legs and its little dangly arms. Sorry, a little punchy today, I guess. And then I'm knitting another Theodore the Storytelling Monster in Dancing Dog Dye Works, I believe. So I have the body, I just have to like close up the head, essentially. So the body's almost done. And then I have all the limbs done. So arms and legs, let's see, arms and legs, all done. So it just needs a little more knitting and then stuffed and assembled. This is for the other boy. So it just needs to be done for Saturday. So it'll be done when they have their special birthday dinner and all that. Sorry if you can't hear me. So that is a finished object plus a works in progress, but they're in there together in my wonderful Knitting's My bag. This is the medium size, and I love this for toys. Such a great bag for toys. The other works in progress I have, I showed this last week. It didn't get much on it, just maybe 4 stripes, maybe 4 or 6. It is the Cladonia shawl. Kristen Kapoor, I believe. I'm knitting it out of Madeline Tosh Merino Light, or TML, as some of us like to say. I'm knitting it out of Grasshopper and Bloomsbury. This is not quite that bright of an aqua, but I love these two colors together. I love it so much. It's so soft. So soft on my little cheeks. So it's only you're supposed to need 1 of each. I still have quite a bit of the striping to go. So you do two rows of each color, and then it'll have a lace panel and then like a picot edge at the bottom. So this is for my Eat Sleep Knit Yarnathon 3rd quarter challenge. So I just have to have it done by the end of September. Yes, September. So I have time to work on it. I'm not in a hurry to get it done yet. I want to at least get the stripes done by the end of August. I mean, I know we're just beginning August, but that could go on the back burner. So then, in my big old sweater bag, I have made decent progress on my husband's sweater. I really hate this pattern. So I was knitting and I'm following the directions, and it said to read ahead, and I thought I read far enough ahead because it said like read the whole section, and I thought they were talking about the one section. I don't know. Anyways, I ended up knitting and knitting and knitting, and I'm like, dear God, when do you switch for the body? So I knit until there were X amount of increases, and I'm like, when I finally divide for the body, the armholes are going to be almost to his waist. So I'm reading again, and I'm like, I did that, and then I read farther ahead, like turned the page and kept going, and then it said, oh, if you get to X amount of inches or something before you do all your increases, divide for the body. And I'm like, oh, you've got to be kidding me. I was supposed to divide for the body way back. So I had to rip out. I ripped out a whole skein. Like a whole 220 yards pretty much. But, so, okay, so it is a Henley style sweater. It is a Raglan. A Henley Raglan sleeved cross, something like that. Anyway, so I'm in the round. You can see here where I joined. And I have stitch markers where the buttons are going to go. Because as I did the button rounds, I'd make a buttonhole on one side. And when I get to the end of the round where the button's going to need to go, I always put a stitch marker. That way when I'm all done, I'm not going, okay, well, the buttonhole's here, so we'll put the button right about there. They're actually evenly spaced. I'll know exactly where they need to go. So we divided for the body. It is in the round. So I went and got another circular needle, and I knit half the stitches onto the other circular needle so that I essentially had two hanging, and I could slip it on him and try it. And it was fitting perfect. So if the pattern turns out okay, I can forgive, in a way, the pattern. I mean, if I were to knit it again, I would know better next time, right? And it would be a lot easier. I hope he loves it. I hope he loves it immensely, but I hope he doesn't love it enough for him to go, can I have one in every color? So it is Ella Rae Classic Superwash Heather in the charcoal gray. So I cannot wait to get buttons. I don't have any buttons that he liked, because they were all, the ones I had that were gray were kind of feminine for it. It wouldn't work. So I need to buy buttons. The Etsy seller I talked about last week, I did not see any buttons in her shop that would have worked. They were either the wrong size, or if they were the right size, they, you know, weren't the style we were looking for. So the pattern is out of the book, Knits Men Want. And the sweater is the Raglan Sleeved Henley. I was close. So this is what it looks like. And that's exactly what he wanted his to look like. He's like, I want it to look like the picture in the book. Like, ugh, you're no fun. But I mean, it's easy now. Now I just knit in the round forever and a day. So I pick it up once in a while. It's definitely slowed down. My knitting has slowed way down, but we'll talk about that closer to the slice of life. And then, this could be a short episode. I feel like I'm rushing through things even though I don't mean to. I just don't have a ton of stuff to show. I mean, I have a lot of works in progress. But then the other thing that I started is a Leaves of Change. I didn't have time to do it along with our knit along, so I'm doing it now. But it is a shop sample for the LOIS. And I have the first lace section and then the kind of like divider lace section. Moving into the second leafy lace section. There's actually like 3 different lace, leaf laces. There's little leaves, which sometimes, depending on the yarn you use, you kind of need a good stitch definition yarn to see at the top. So there's a little leaf, a middle leaf, and a bigger leaf that is the edge. So I'm ready to start the second leaf section. And I really haven't touched it much. So I am knitting it out of Cascade Yarns, the Heritage Silk in the Primavera colorway. It's a big ball of beautiful lime green. Kind of getting washed out by the window here. It keeps getting overcast, and then the sun will want to peek out for a minute. Because I record in the afternoon, usually after lunchtime, if possible. A little later today than usual. So, I try to use the natural light. I don't like having, I have an overhead light on, but I don't want lights on me. I don't know. I don't think I would like that. So 4 works in progress. I will definitely have the one secret knitting gift all done, probably tonight, and get the mouths on them. And the the other 3 I'm just going to keep plugging away at, slowly but surely. I don't know that I'll have one of them done next week. I don't know that next week I'll have it finished. Well, no, because after I'm done with the little critters there, I need to knit a Francis the sock wearing fox for Steve of Dramatic Knits. I have that all wound up and ready to go. So that's next on the needles. So I have some Yarny Goodness. Yarny Goodness. I have been drooling over this yarn for so long. So long. Gosh, I'm thinking like it's got to be like a year. I had originally seen this on Instagram. Casey of Tangerine Designs was knitting some fabulous socks out of this. There we go. Oh, look at how pretty. Oh. So it is Lollipop Yarn. Imagine that. In Wild Thing. It was so funny. It came and my daughter's like, oh, what's it called? I was like, Wild Thing. She's like, huh? So then I start singing the song. Not that I'm good at singing by any means. And she's looking at it, she's like, oh, like, you know, that horrifying and mom embarrassment moment. And it kept me going, right? Because I know it's one of those songs you just know all the words to. It's not a complicated song, right? Wild Thing. And, oh my god, it was so awesome. Like, I wouldn't do it in public because I don't like to be embarrassed. But in her home, oh my god, it was great. She's like, stop. Please stop. And I just kept going. Oh, it was awesome. And it did come with a heel and toe orange. It kind of looks like a blaring orange. It's pretty bright orange. So it's striped gray, orange, gray, yellow, gray, pink, and repeats. So it is a 6-stripe repeat. Every other stripe is orange or gray, and then orange, yellow, pink. So it came with a heel and toe. I was like, oh, okay, that works. And then it was kind of like, so I could never catch it. I've never been able to catch a Lollipop update. It's up and it's gone. I've never. One time I got one thing in my cart and I went to check out and it was gone. So, back when I custom ordered my Great Googly Moogly, which I showed you back at the very beginning of June, it came in time for my birthday. I asked about Wild Thing too. I'm like, well, if you ever happen to dye up Wild Thing, I would love that. You know, she's like, well, you want me to put you on the list? I'm like, yes, please. So it's kind of, we're going to kind of blur some lines of some slice of life and yarn because it's kind of going to go together just a wee bit. So I made a new purchase. We'll talk about my purchase in slice of life. So I made a new purchase, kind of a big purchase, and I had to make some sacrifices for this purchase, and one of the sacrifices was yarn. So call me officially put on the yarn diet, like no joke. There will still be some purchases. I still have a $25 gift card to Eat Sleep Knit that I get to spend that I will now not use frivolously. It will be a much more methodical purchase. And so I made this so well, you know, I'm thinking about when I actually bought it. No, I thought I wasn't going to, I don't know. This was purchased before the other big purchase. So, I'm sorry, I'm backtracking here, because I'm thinking of how this all went down. The last few days have been a blur. Big blur. So, I bought this, and I had already been thinking, you know, I was talking about I have too much stash, I'm having some stash guilt, and blah, blah, blah. So, this came, and I thought, this is my last hurrah. My last hurrah, right? My little Lollipop Yarn kit. And, I was like, yeah, I can live with that, right? Like, I've been wanting this for a very, very long time. I love stripes. You know. And then, now I'm trying to de-stash. I have expenses that I now have to pay for. So there will be a lot going up my de-stash. Keep an eye on it. And a big thank you to everybody who's already bought stuff, because this morning, I put some stuff up, and there were some things that went really quick, and it was super awesome. So this is it for a while. Besides, like I said, I have a $25 Eat Sleep Knit gift card. I earned store credit for knitting samples at the LYS, so I can still get stuff from the LYS. But this was like my last hurrah, my last, like, there will be no more buying from updates, there will be no more impulse, ooh, pretty, buy, click, nothing. But sacrifices are being made, people. I explained it in Slice of Life because some people don't watch the Slice of Life, and I know that, and I'm totally fine with that. And I try not to blur the lines too much, but I'm trying to remember the sequence of events, because it all started Friday. Friday is when this all took place. I bought that Thursday night, so then it was like, it was crazy. So then I also got a package. It was kind of a rough weekend, because all this stuff that is entangled upon itself and has me confused, had me kind of down over the weekend. It was a rough weekend. Things just weren't going my way as last week kind of progressed into the weekend, and it was just... So then I got this package in the mail. And it's not yarn related, but it is a yarn related person. So I had gotten a private message on Ravelry from Josh, Auricula82 of the Dairyland podcast, and he's just the sweetest. And he sent me this beautiful card. And then I opened it up. And I have no mugs to show this week, so you won't see those in Slice of Life or anything. My only thing that I got in the mail was a jar of his blueberry pie filling. Yes, blueberry pie filling. Made by Josh himself. It was so awesome because when he was talking about going and blueberry picking and all that, all I could think is, oh, my mom used to make the best blueberry jam. I've never known anybody else who makes blueberry jam, and it was phenomenal. It was so good, and she has not made it in years. I don't know that she's made any kinds of jams in years. It's been I'm thinking probably like a good 6 or 7 years since I've had this jam. And so I commented about that. Oh, I was hoping when you said you got all these blueberries you were going to make jam, just because, you know, it brings back those memories. And so you wrote a little note saying, I know it's not your mom's blueberry jam, but I still hope you enjoy it. And it is delicious. Oh my god, it's so good. It is so really, really good. I'm trying to make it last. It's like maybe a little over a third, maybe like 40% gone, because I shared it with my husband and my kids. But it's delicious, and everybody just raved about it. So Josh, from the bottom of my heart, thank you, because it was a really crappy weekend, and to go pick that up from the post office, it totally, like, I was like beaming from ear to ear, and I came straight home, put some toast in the toaster, because that's what he told me that was really good on toast, and I even used white bread. Not even just any white bread, Italian bread. I busted into my husband's bread that he uses to make sandwiches for work, and I splurged, because I haven't had white bread forever. Normally I always buy 100% whole wheat. So the only other announcement is that with my purchase of said large item, I had to make a decision. And once again, sacrifices had to be made, and I will not, sadly and just a wee bit regretfully, not be attending the Zombie Knitpocalypse 2015. So I had to decide between my purchase and the retreat, because there was not going to be money for both. Because the $90 deposit for the retreat is coming up at the very beginning of September, so that would be money. I always buy my plane ticket in January, and if I wanted this item, I could not do the retreat. You know, my husband's like, it's your choice. You know, you can go to the retreat, you can have your thing. And so it was up to me. It was my call, but I understood where we stood financially. You just can't do both. I can't have everything. So I was willing, like, in a heartbeat, to give up yarn, to give up the retreat. I mean, when I say give up yarn, like, I have more than I need. I was willing to, you know, the D-stash really didn't come until the last couple days. But, it was what I was willing to do. Because I'm hoping there will be a ZK 2016. Because if so, I will be there. But next summer, I will not be going to any retreats. I will be stuck in Ohio. And I'm perfectly fine with that. So, I'm sorry if you were planning to come next year and you hadn't met me yet and you were looking forward to it. And then I really feel bad that I have so many friends that go, people that I became friends with, that I love seeing, that I love going having a meal with. I love sitting and chatting for a minute, getting hugs, and it means so much. It really does. And I wish I could go, and I will be there in spirit with all of you. But I have to skip a year. So, we're going to move into a slice of life. So if you leave me now, I'll see you next week. Here we go. So, there's a little bit of a backstory to my purchase. When I was a little girl, I was absolutely enamored with, taken by, the Volkswagen Beetle bug car. I wanted one my entire life, as long as I could think of. And there has been one locally for sale. And it's been for sale for years. Well, on and off for years. And I never quite understood it. And then I was talking with somebody about it. And then they heard from somebody else that they were looking for one. So she called me and was like, hey, where's that Beetlebug car that you were talking about? Like, just the week before. Like, and I'm like, my heart sunk, and my stomach tightened up, and I wanted to vomit. I did. Because I'm like, that's my car. That's my car. Because I wanted it for so long, and it would be out for sale for a little bit in these people's front lawn or in their driveway, and it would be gone. And it wasn't there for like almost a year. So when I say I've been wanting this car for years, for like a whole year I didn't see it. I assumed somebody bought it and it was gone. Little did I know, these people put it in storage every winter. Every winter, once the weather gets kind of bad, it immediately goes into storage for the winter. So it has been put in a heated storage garage during the cold months. So this kind of lit a fire under my butt. Because I've been wanting this car, and the price kept coming down on it. And finally we went and talked to them, and they were like, you know, the husband bought it for his wife, because she wanted one. They had rebuilt ones in the past. They were an older couple, and I didn't talk to the wife, I just talked to the husband, and we were talking about it, and I'm like, you know, I really don't have the money right now, you know, and I was like, if you still have it, you know, in 6 months or so, when I'll probably be able to save up enough money for it, I'll give you a call, and if you still have it, I will buy it. Like, well, then everything worked out, where we have an arrangement. It is mine. It is in my garage, with the price and everything, and like, seriously, I cannot tell you, these stars aligned. Everything worked out amazingly. It's in amazing condition. There are a few issues. There are some. It was driven. Right? It did not sit around for 40 years. It is a 40-year-old vehicle. It was driven. It has an insane amount of numbers of mileage. The odometer has rolled over at least once that I'm aware of. And that's okay. It's all stuff that can be fixed. The body is in amazing condition. It's not rusted out. It's in pristine. The paint has some chips and dings. The mirrors, the side mirrors on it are not the originals. But I found a catalog. They actually gave me the catalog, and it's a catalog for nothing but, like, late 60s through 70s Volkswagen parts. For, like, $70, I can get a set of new mirrors, which aren't going to happen right away, but eventually. So, it kind of came down to, it ended up being the perfect price, the perfect arrangement, the perfect people to buy from, because then he called me back and gave me an offer that I could not refuse, because he talked to his wife and telling his wife how much I loved this car and how I've been watching it for years, like come and go. And then I find out she's a knitter. She's a knitter. I'm like, really, how much more insane of a coincidence could all this be? It's insane. It's blows my mind. And there's so much more to the story, but you don't have an hour just to hear me blather about it. So, and of course life happens, and there are things that I now need to destash yarn to pay for. So, the funniest thing to all of this, I bought a car I can't drive. I don't know how to drive a stick shift. All Volkswagen Beetles are stick shift. Now some had semi-automatic transmissions, which I still wouldn't know how to drive. I've heard it's easier, but I still don't know how to drive it. But my husband had a truck that was a stick shift when we first got married, and he always tried to get me to learn how to drive it, and I refused. I'm like, I don't need to drive a stick shift. My car is an automatic, blah, blah, blah. We got rid of this truck years ago, and when he got a new truck, he got an automatic. So I, never thought, I've always wanted one, and I never thought I'd own one. It was kind of like one of those little, pipe dreams. And, now I have one. And it's orange. So it's kind of funny that out of all the colors that she could have picked for the heel and toe, there are 3 different colors, and it's orange like my car orange. And, like I said, I could not pass it up, and I couldn't go, and like I said, there will be other retreats, there will be other opportunities. There might not be another, Super Beetle, because it's a Super Beetle, another Super Beetle that comes along that's in this good of a condition at this good of a price. I mean, I am blown away. I am so blown away. My mom is so excited for me. She knows I've always wanted one. And I called her and was like, I have something I want to show you. Something I bought I want to show you. And she's like, well, what is it? And I'm like, no, you gotta see it, I think, to fully appreciate it. And she's like, oh, just tell me what it is. I'm like, I'll tell you, but I really think, she goes, oh, fine, just bring it over. And when I pulled in, she came out, and she started laughing. She was laughing. She was like red. She's like, I cannot believe it. She's like, I'm so happy for you. You finally got one. Because I wanted an old one. I don't want a new one. Like, the new ones are better looking than, like, the late 90s into early 2000s ones, in my opinion. I know there are people who are passionate about their new Beetles. The newer ones look a little more like the older ones. But yeah, it's pretty amazing. So it was a very emotional week. I had highs and lows. Well, lows then highs. And I did lose again this week, because I know there are people who follow me for that, who like hearing about it. And I was totally expecting to gain, and I didn't. And it totally motivated me even more. And that's part of the reason I have not gotten much knitting done. We've been doing a lot of research on the car, I want to know what are good restoration things to do and bad restoration things to do. We want to keep the car as much in its original condition and as much true to the year that it was made, than to update it. Like, we want to keep it as classic as possible. So there's been lots of that, and lots of just reading up on stories and the previous owners were amazing. They gave me a stack of books they had bought, and I have all the original manuals, and so there's just been lots of that. Like, the nerd in me is totally geeking out that I was giving manuals, like big thick book manuals that I'm actually reading. So by the time I'm done, I'll probably be, close to an expert. Because we hope to do as much of the restoration ourselves as we can, because I love cars. That is something not many people know. I love cars. Mainly old cars, because they're less complicated to work on. But I come from a family of mechanics. I love cars. I love the smell of a car. The oil and new tires. Oh my god, I love walking into a tire shop. And my husband thinks I'm nuts. I love the smell. So I'm elated, and I'm floored, and Like I said, I can't have it all, so I had to pick and choose. I feel I choose very wisely. But it's a good thing. It's a good thing. It's going to help me curve my yarn, and it'll make me appreciate what I have more and use it, and I'm excited, and I cannot wait for some driving lessons. We have to get a battery for it. That was the only thing, is because they weren't driving it and it had been in storage for the winter, and it was their little pet project that they kind of lost interest in because they went and I forget what he said they started doing, and it kind of went by the wayside because they have rebuilt 3 older model Beetles, like from the late 50s one and some early 60s ones. And so this one just kind of had come along and got, lost interest, I mean, is the only thing. And after trying to get, I feel like I'm saying a lot because my brain is zooming. There I go again, I'm sorry. So their pet project is now my pet project. And I cannot wait for driving lessons. So the shop owner of the LYS where I help out has a stick shift, and she says if you can use a double treadle spinning wheel, you can learn to drive a stick. So let's hope she's right, because if I can't get the hang of it, then I'm going to be really disappointed. And I really don't want to tear up the transmission, because that is not an expense that I need. So that's super motivation for me to learn quickly, get it right, because I want to drive it so bad. I was so kind of jealous following my husband home. He got to drive it home, and then we went for a ride in it. We test drove it too, so I got to ride in it while we test drove it. And I was totally jealous. I so wanted to climb in the driver's seat, but I was not going to try to drive a stick if it's not mine, because if I messed it up, that would be horrible. So that was my week. A really, really exciting week. I will keep you updated on my driving lessons, and hopefully I will figure it out and not be like, oh my god, why did I buy it when I can't drive it? The shenanigans, I tell you. So that is my week. I will I'll talk to you next week. So I'm Jenna, also known as RetroLemon. Although just real quick about the whole RetroLemon thing, my husband's like, it's too bad that you couldn't, the car was orange instead of yellow, even though I wanted orange. He's like, because, you're RetroLemon, and you could have been driving around in a RetroLemon, because it would have been yellow, and it was retro, So I was like, oh, haha. So, anyways, I am Jenna, also known as RetroLemon. RetroLemon on Ravelry, Flirt, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, Fitbit, and Weight Watchers. And until next week, I will see you then. Bye.